I am optimistic, not pessimistic. I'm positive, not negative. I'm excited. I'm not down. I'm optimistic, positive, and excited about chiropractic. Reaching people, having impact with my practice, and building an exceptional life of being productive and prosperous and being generous and living a life filled with love, fitness-centered, and of course having a great time. My purpose is to become a smarter, more powerful, capable, driven, and superior version of myself by ever increasing my awareness, knowledge, understanding, motivation, hands-on skill, communication skill, and mastery in the art of exceptional living. Let's take a look at the word motivation for a second. Observing chiropractors from here to Singapore and everywhere in between, if I were to boil it down to one single word that describes the largest problem in chiropractic today among chiropractors, that one word is laziness. Just flat out lazy. Lazy. Don't do enough. Put in little tiny efforts and expect big returns. That's being lazy. Post-it note levels of planning for something that requires a lot more planning. So if you're motivated, you're not lazy. Lazy people are not motivated. One goal personally that I have is to simply not be lazy. What would a lazy person do? Good, I won't do that. I'll do the opposite. In fact, I spent a lot of my life just going day to day doing the opposite of what lazy people would do. What would a lazy chiropractor do? Well, they wouldn't make a really cool patient handbook. Good, I'll make one. A lazy consultant wouldn't mail anything to people. Well, good, I'm going to mail stuff to my people then. A lazy consultant wouldn't have a website full of videos. Good, I'll have 1,000 videos then. See, whatever a lazy person would do the opposite of it. See, how do you want people to know you? What do you want people to think when your name is mentioned? Yeah, she struggles. Or, wow, she really gets after it. She is an impressive person. If I had a daughter, I would want her to be just like that chiropractor. Do you want people to think you're lazy? You don't get stuff done? You talk and then you don't do? Or that you talk big before you actually deliver? Let's lead a life where you are the opposite of lazy. That's the name of the game. Every single podcast, when you train with me, Tory the Chiropractic Practice Success Consultant, Tory the Chiropractor, every time you train with me, it causes you to naturally attract more new and high-value cases, great new patients coming from unexpected sources. Training with me makes you more capable at motivating and persuading people. Training with me empowers you to make smarter, long-term decisions. See, smart long-term decisions don't come from lazy minds, because a lazy person won't think enough and plan enough to make a smart long-term decision. Training with me energizes you physically, energizes you mentally, energizes you financially. See, energized, isn't that the opposite of lazy? Lazy people are not energized. You want to be energized, motivated, inspired, ready to go. The opposite of lazy. Other people are lazy, not you, okay? When it comes down to getting the work done, who's going to get it done? Are you? You going to memorize the required scripts, or are you going to be lazy? Are you going to sit and engineer all of the money flow elements like we teach, or are you going to be lazy and then not end up with any money? Laziness is brutally expensive. I'm here to help you. I'm here to make it easy, to make it fun to learn and apply simple procedures that are superior so you can benefit for a practicing lifetime. One of my favorite procedures today. The number one practice growth tool of the Winner's Edge chiropractor, other than the actual procedures themselves. Remember now, your procedures, when done well, actually are your promotions. Marketing is built into every procedure. That's a topic for another day. But here is something that any chiropractor who's got an office can do right now today. If you're a student or you're listening, you'll have to wait on this one, but you'll end up using this. But if you have a practice and you have a patient list, well, let me tell you, you've got gold right there. So let me take you through a procedural element. Now, sometimes on the podcast, we could tell stories, which I love to do. We can talk about philosophical things like the B.J. Palmer story from the last podcast. We can talk about money-related elements. We can have affirmations that tie into chiropractic or practice or money. Talk about the mindset of the chiropractor. We can talk about health and fitness concepts that are essential for the chiropractor. My personal opinion, the two most important exercises for the chiropractor, lunges and dips. Many good exercises out there, but consider those and really think about their value. But I want to talk about a procedure in the office today that is a growth procedure that any chiropractor can do immediately to cause an immediate influx, an immediate flow of people toward you. We call it the recall list. Sounds kind of boring, doesn't it? The recall list. But let me take you through how we do this. Now, once again, like most of the stuff here, in fact, probably all of it, I invented this. I've never seen this anywhere. Nobody taught this to me. I didn't learn this anyplace else. One thing I see out there with people is they'll want to steal my stuff and then somehow just say that it was always out there and that anybody can use it. That would be like me going and building a Tesla car and then just saying, well, the technology to build it was always around for anybody to use. Yeah, I don't know if Elon Musk would agree with that. So this is one of many things that I've thought of that I have applied and have had chiropractors all over the world apply this, and I want you to understand it also. Now, for some of you who know me, this may be a little bit of review. But let's see if we can add some more details to make you even stronger with it. Now, in Winner's Edge, everything has a system. It's one complete flowing system. And that's one key to success. We don't take a system and then try to add a bunch of other people's junk to it. Nobody buys a Lamborghini and then goes down to the auto parts store and buy a bunch of parts to stick on the outside of your Lamborghini. It is in its finished and perfected and highly engineered state. You don't mess with it. Same is true here. The Winner's Edge Practice Flow system is complete. And of course, now we have it engineered up to $200 per visit, $200,000 per month, $2 million per year, and that is one chiropractor, of course. Back to the recall list. Here's how it works. Let me take you through the process. You print out a complete patient list, every single name of every person who's ever walked in the place. By design, this is done every 90 days. Reminder in the calendar that just says recall list. You sit at your Winner's Edge DC Command Center desk. The desk we recommend with the file cabinets we recommend, the hanging file folders, the computer, the phone, all of the ammo that is required to operate a successful business. You sit at your command center desk with your patient list and you grab a nice, fresh, bright yellow highlighter. You might even have a pencil handy. Here's what we do. You start at the top and you highlight the name of every person who's not currently under care and who you would like to see again. Now, never do we feel guilty about not wanting to see somebody. Okay? Yeah, we're here to change the world and love everybody. No, we're not. Okay, we're here to change the world and love all the people that like us, respect us, and appreciate chiropractic care and want to come in and see us. Everybody else, we don't have time for. It's a biblical principle once again. So we grab our highlighter and we highlight every name of every person we want to see again. Now that's mindless work. That's high school kid duty there. The real pro will use their mind. You will use your mind and you will actually picture that person walking in and smiling and there being some greeting up at the front desk. You have to picture that. You have to flash them on the screen of your mind. Just for an instant. So as you highlight the name, you flash them on the screen of your mind and you actually see them having walked in up at the front desk, okay, walking toward the adjusting area. You flash that image on the screen of your mind. You must be able to control your mind. I can control my mind. That's what everybody says. That's why most people are delusional. They are not in control of their mind. Outside outside insults, outside impulses, outside images. You have to sit and control your mind. It means you can think what you want to think when you want to think it. You can put a person's image on the screen of your mind. We highlight the name, we flash the image up on the screen of our mind. We highlight the next name and we picture that person. We highlight the next name and we picture that person. And we go all the way through the entire patient list. How far back? As far back as it can go. And you highlight the name of every single person you want to see again, and you flash their image on the screen of your mind. Okay, that's done. Phase 2. Grab your pencil. Now, you've already put the thought energy out there. You thought about these people and you pictured them. You are already sending the wave of energy out. See, if you forget about your people, they will forget about you. If you think about them, you will cause them to think about you. That's the way it works. That's why this is standard procedure after all holidays, after all vacations. This is how we psychologically reconnect with our entire patient base. Their name is either in the appointment book or their name is on this recall list and you're thinking about them. So you never ignore anybody ever. Their name is in the book, or you've highlighted and you're thinking about them every 90 days on the recall list of awesomeness. This is quite profound what I'm saying here. Most offices they leave and they just get forgotten about. Never do we forget about them. We'll grab our pencil now. Now it's time to take action. So each one of these people, they're either going to get an email, possibly a text message, if you are close enough, or some member of the staff, like it might be a family member of theirs. Email, possibly text message. Now listen carefully. Some may get a card mailed to them. And some may get a card mailed, and inside that folding card that's inside an envelope, you have a business card size card, good for a free visit. Tory, but who gets those? You have to make that determination. How good of a patient were they? How long has it been since they've been in? You know what? I want to send her a free visit card. Great. So now what happens? All the names are highlighted. I've thought of all of them. It only takes a minute. I put a little note next to them, who gets an email, a text, or who gets a card, and who gets the free visit card. And then here's what happens next. CA takes and handwrites every single name on the sheet that we have broken down into a grid. She handwrites every single name on that sheet. So now look what's happened here. Let's summarize. I've highlighted all the names. I've seen all the names in my mind. I've imagined all of those people. I've marked down how we're going to touch them, you might say. The CA has had to think about them because she's written out the names. I promise you, the phone is already going to be ringing. People are already going to be thinking about you and engineering a way to come back in, because when you think about people, they think about you. Now we're going to be up front and we're going to blast out an email, nice and personal. Tory, what do I say in the email? Well, we'd have to handle that individually. We don't have time to go over the variations of that. Text message. Card that goes out. Tory, what card do I send? You can have a custom-made card. We call it the dog card, the we miss you card. It could be a general card. It could be an office postcard. It almost doesn't matter. The second they see a card from you, they already know, I should get back in. They want me to get back in. You don't have to say much. Okay? Like if I get a phone call on my cell phone and I see it's from Crossings Dental, do they need to leave a message? Heck no. I know I'm due for a cleaning. Okay? Some may get the card that's good for the free visit. Okay. So the emails go out, the text messages go out, and the mail goes out. And you have a fresh recall list sitting up front at the front desk right next to the Winner's Edge goal and stat sheet. All activity in the office hovers around the printed out goal and stat sheet. The huddles occur around that because that's how we stay locked on to what our goals are, and we always know where we are at. Never do we keep stats in a computer. Destroys the very purpose of having the sheet. The purpose isn't to keep track of the stats. The purpose is the goals. The Winner's Edge goal and stats system is, oh man, that's it. That's the core of everything. Remember now, you got nothing until you got clearly set goals. Otherwise, where are you going? You don't know where you're going. So back to the recall list of awesomeness. Highlight all the names, think about everybody, mark down what they get. The emails get sent, the text messages get sent, the cards get sent, the cards with the free visit get sent. The CA writes all the names down on the fresh recall list that sits up front. There. You've done your part. You've put in the work, the thought and physical activity. You've sent the signal out. You've planted the seeds. The best we've seen, I believe, is 59 people come back in after the chiropractor went through the recall list process. Here's what we do. Now you have a green highlighter. We recommend in the office you have all colors of highlighters. I look here, there's the orange one, I got the pink one, the blue one, the green one, all colors of highlighters. And you highlight green. We call it fields of green. People coming back in, re-signing into a wellness plan because you thought about them and you cared. Chiropractors ignore their people and they go and focus on a bunch of marketing. Why? So they can just turn around and ignore those people down the road anyway? Never. Recall list procedure. Now, as people call or come in, we will highlight their name green when they come back in. And of course, when they come back in, we'll do our work and we will immediately go. Some of these people may have been prepaid for visits and they have visits they can use. Great. Some of these people may be on an auto pay and they're already paid for visits they can use. Great. Many of these people will not be on any sort of a wellness plan and they will be re-signed into one of the wellness plans of awesomeness right then. And of course, we have all the wellness plans already made, mathematically calculated, to make perfect sense and be streamlined along with your initial plans, which are perfectly engineered and mathematically calculated. And of course, those are coming from our baseline codes and fees that are in the computer that are all perfectly correct and appropriately calculated. And away we go. My favorite marketing procedure. If you are ever down, if you are ever looking at your stats and the numbers aren't as good as you would like, if you were gone for a few days, you come back after a holiday, okay? Anytime you sense that there's just been a little disconnect with you and your people, boom, print me out the patient list, grab the highlighter, highlight and think about all of those people. Get the cards out, get the emails out, get the text messages out. Sit, grab your Winner's Edge black book and review your goals. In other words, where are you going? You get your mind on that and that will start to move you toward those goals. We've done the recall list and what does that do? That moves the people toward you. We're thankful and we're ready to go. So the recall list can be done at any time. But it's in the system to be done every 90 days or after every long weekend or after any holiday to keep our mind on our people. See, we want to have it be where what we do automatically when we show up at the office is all we need to do to have a big, massive, powerful, high referral, high profit practice. We don't want to have to do anything extra. You just want to go in, have your procedures, the Winner's Edge consult, how we explain chiropractic, the way that we do the Winner's Edge exam, of course the x-rays, the Winner's Edge Insta report of awesomeness, then of course how we introduce them to chiropractic, we wrap up our day one, what they take with them, the video that they get. They come back in, of course, we put them through the loop, we draw the incredible Winner's Edge report diagram, we use the Winner's Edge care plan sheet to get them started into care. Of course, the scheduling and all this, and they're ready to go. Now we have our beautiful office visits, where now we have a period of visits to not only change their life with chiropractic, but also to program their mind to believe and think what we need them to think and believe about chiropractic. We make all the adjustments required to the mind simultaneously as we're making all the adjustments required to the body. So we can get them, using the Winner's Edge re-sign process, to continue care into the future for infinity with what we call the Winner's Edge Infinity Plan. You just want to show up, see a ton of people, have it be profitable, and go home. and get your mind focused on your life, lifestyle, and all of those things that are so important. See, in the beginning, there's no balance. There's no balance in success. Tori, I want to have more balance. Well, then you must not want to be very successful. Do you think a person training for the Olympics has balance in their life? No. It is 100% preparation for the Olympics. Everything else doesn't really matter. And if they think it matters, their chances of winning are probably zero, because they'll be competing against people that were 100% dedicated to their training. And the highest level chiropractor is going to have to dedicate a serious effort to their practice. Yeah, but I'm married and I have kids. Well, tell them you'll see them in second or third grade. Now, I'm joking a little bit here, but what I want to indicate is this. If you don't put forth the full court press, the full maximal effort, you'll be forced to grind your entire life. But if you put forth the full court press, the full attack, the full aggressive, do everything, go to everything, implement everything, memorize everything, and you do that for 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 years, you'll be free for the rest of your life. Take your pick. My best friend from college. Yeah, Tori, I didn't see my dad until like second or third grade, but after that we had everything we wanted. Is that worth it? Yeah, it's worth it. So anytime a chiropractor says, oh, I need more balance. Balance? The only time a chiropractor says they need more balance is because they didn't unbalance themselves when they were supposed to get up above the clouds so they can get back into balance. Do you get the idea? They're out of balance, and they'll always be out of balance because they never put forth the full pressure effort. They were lazy, didn't get the practice to where it needed to get to, and now they have to sit there and grind with it for decades, because they didn't just apply themselves and crank for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years so they could then be in what we call cruiser mode for the rest of their practicing life. Chiropractors start, and they start too lazy, and they stay lazy, and they want to have like a retirement level life without having put in the effort to deserve it. Back to the recall list, we'll wrap it up. You care about your people. You have a feeling of responsibility to reach out and help them, save them with chiropractic. You got people coming in, their name is already in the book. You got all these names of people you'd like to see again. You'd like to see their name in the book too. So the most powerful thing we can do is think about them in a positive way. We highlight that name, we think about them. Touch base with a quick email or a text, a card that arrives, a card that maybe has a free visit for those unique situations where you think that's appropriate. Of course, you could just send a card to everybody, that's fine too. And then send the free adjustment card to just certain ones in there that maybe have been gone for a little bit longer, and you need a little bit more bait to get them back in. Tori, who gets the free visit card? Whoever you think needs more bait. Okay? And then you sit there and you are in a state of deservingness. I now deserve. I've reached out and basically contacted all of the people that I haven't seen for a while. I've proven that I care. I have done my part. That brings me confidence. It brings me a state of deservingness. And then I will get exactly what I deserve. Work, effort, care always brings a tremendous return. So, summarizing the podcast, laziness is something for other people. You want to be known as a person that gets things done. You want to be known as a person who is the absolute opposite of lazy. You want to have procedures that build the practice automatically, and you want to reach out and touch your people with an email, a text, a card, or maybe a free visit card using the recall list system so you're always in contact with your patient base along with the ones that are already in the book. Tory out.